Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to another video. Hopefully you find this helpful. If you do, just hit that like and subscribe. Subscribing is always free. For those of you new to YouTube, there's no subscription charge. You just basically essentially follow the channel so that when I post a new video, it pops up on your news feed and your YouTube feed, that's all. But yeah, so 4 products for you today. Varying degrees of difficulty to install, but nothing too difficult. All very simple. You can do it in your driveway after you wash your car. They all do require the same prep. So beforehand, we're going to decontaminate the tire, and then I'll also clean the tire with a prep spray just to be sure everything's off of it. Most of these just say use dish soap or something like that, some degreaser that's going to get any old tire shine off your tires. But we'll take the extra step just to make sure the tires are very clean. We'll use a prep spray that I use for ceramic coatings on the tire afterwards. You can use an isopropyl, 70% isopropyl and water mixture as well as a final step to make sure it's clean. So starting with the Silex, this one takes probably the most work to apply. We'll actually order them put them in that order from most difficult to easiest to apply. Okay, the Silex, decontaminate the tire surface. It says apply to an applicator, wipe on evenly, smooth down any streaks or drips, allow to dry for 30 minutes before using the vehicle, and then allow 24 hours for the product to cure before you drive it in the rain or get it wet. And then you can apply up to 2 coats, it says. The rubber care ceramic, this one, clean the surface as well. This one, you're gonna need to spray it on, and it does come with a spray nozzle. So spray it on, let it soak for 10 minutes or longer on the surface of the tire. And then it says wipe the rubber with a damp towel, and then dry the rubber with a dry towel. Okay, so that one's a little bit easier. You can do that one in approximately 10 minutes. On this one, you're gonna need to let it cure for about 30 minutes, which you're not going to be watching it cure, I'm guessing. But anyway, so the once a year, this one is surprisingly easy to apply. It just says shake well before using, apply to clean, dry, protectant-free surface in shade with applicator. Allow 5 minutes of dry time for each treatment, and you can wipe on 1 to 2 coats. It says do not rub or buff on the surface. So you're just going to apply it with the applicators that they supplied with the product. Wiping any streaks, evenly apply it. And then after 5 minutes, you're good to go. The ceramic Hydroshield by Chemical Guys. This stuff's really easy to use. I love it. And that's kind of their thing, Chemical Guys. It's very user-friendly stuff. It's about $22. All these products were, actually this was I think the most, well, none of them were more than $25. They're all between $20 and $25. So I'll post the links to all these in the description for you guys. So if you're interested in buying any of these, you can just go down below and click. I don't get anything for that, but it helps you guys out. This one, it basically just says decontaminate the surface, spray it on with a microfiber, wiping any drips, and you're good to go. And it does leave a dry finish, nice black, I'd say satin finish. None of these are going to leave a real glossy finish, which I don't like the wet look. The only way to really get the wet look is with that nasty tire shine stuff that you spray out of a can, or like Black Magic tire wet stuff. That stuff is awful. Don't use that stuff. It just attracts dirt and dust, and after a couple of days your tires look brown, and then you got all this goop that runs down off of it onto your wheels. It slings off the tires onto the side of your paint. Don't use any of that stuff. Go with something like this. But yeah, so we're gonna wash each tire individually and then apply one of these to each of the tires, and then we're gonna drive the vehicle. We're gonna drive the vehicle for about a week and approximately 1,500 to 1,700 miles. Gonna take a little road trip up north actually. We're gonna wash the vehicle twice minimum. A final time when we return, and then we'll inspect the tires and see which one looks the best. So stick around. Before we apply any of this, to clean the tires, I'm just going to use a brush. Any sort of detailing brush would work fine. I'm going to use something with stiff bristles, and then a smaller brush to kind of get in the groove along where the rim meets the tire, the wheel meets the tire. I'm going to use this Black Magic Bleach White first on the tires. I'll probably fill a bucket with some Dawn dish soap just to clean the wheels too in the meantime, you know, and I'll go over it one more time with that afterwards, just to make sure I'm degreasing everything. And then after the tires are thoroughly dried, we might even crank out the leaf blower to do that, just to speed up the process. I'll probably spray it with this Mother's Surface Prep. It's good for ceramic coatings, you know, prepping the surface before you apply any ceramic product. It's going to make sure you really get that last bit of grease, wax, oils, anything off your surface, the substrate that you're applying the product to. You can also use a 70% isopropyl alcohol solution. There's a lot of other prep sprays out there. Any of them will work fine. Pretty limited on space in the garage right now, as you can see. So we got the sun over here. So what I can do is just do it in the shade. I'll just back the car out and do the passenger side first, turn the car around, then do the driver's side in the shade so you guys can see it outside a little bit better with the lighting. All right, so like I said before, starting with the passenger front, the Hydro Silex. Super easy to apply this one, actually. You just gotta wait a little bit longer before you can drive it. Just gonna apply it to the pad and rub it on. Next, passenger rear, we got this Rubber Care Ceramic by Aero Cosmetics. Says you can spray on or apply Rubber Care with an applicator. So in an effort to minimize the excess, since we have to let it soak for 10 minutes, I don't want to get any all over the wheels or the paint or anything, so I'm going to apply it with an applicator. All right, so now we got to wipe with a damp towel. So we got some distilled water on that. And then immediately following with a dry. The Blak once a year, and it says to apply with the applicator, remove overlap quickly with a damp towel. Allow to dry for 5 minutes. All right, so that looks like it might need a second coat. Didn't really stick that well right here. Kind of some bare spots, so I'm gonna let that dry for 5 minutes. Rinse my applicator out like it says to do, and then we'll apply a second coat of it to get full coverage. Here. I would have to say that it looks nearly as good as it did. It's still pretty glossy. Definitely glossy still. It's not, I don't think I'd get away with doing it once a year. I'd say it looks better than the Slick. Darker than the Slick. All right, here we are finally with the passenger front. The Chemical Guys product says to just apply with a microfiber towel or an applicator, so we're just going to use an older microfiber towel that I washed out. I'm going to fold it over a couple times, and as to not make a mess, so I think that's going to wrap it up for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed that that little experiment that we did there. This is the order that I'm gonna rate these in this order from left to right. Let me know what you guys think. Which one you think did the best? I think the way I'm rating these is based on how similar did the surface look after I drove it and washed it from when I first applied it. I think this one went on really, left a really consistent, smooth finish, and it looked just about like it did when I first put it on. It never was really super glossy, but it still looked clean when I was done with it. This one also looked pretty good, and I've used this in the past quite a bit. I like it a lot. It's a little bit more difficult to apply. It kind of streaks a little bit. You have to really apply, more than one coat to keep it from streaking. This I rated third. It's not terrible. I rated it third because it lost all that gloss that it had. It's pretty much gone. I mean, it looks like the other three, and it was super shiny when I first put it on. And then this one, not a terrible product either. It still held up well. The tire was still black. It just leaves kind of a streaky finish. That's the reason I put it down there. But they're all relatively the same price. I'll post links in the description for you guys in case you want to buy any of these. But yeah, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.